So you've got yourself a brand new farm, and you know what? You need to get some workers to give you a hand at times, right? I mean, it's your place, it's your brand new place. Why not be able to hire a couple people to help you out? Well, you know what? This ain't your daddy's old farm. This is your new farm. You know what? They used to be a little bit difficult. There wasn't a lot of tasks we could do with our computer-aided helpers, but today in Farm Sim 22, we've got all the new AI workers, and they can handle a little bit more. They may not be the smartest characters out there, but they can handle more things. So I'll tell you all about it now, all right? Let's get into this thing. Pitter patter. Welcome in, crew. Good to have you back in with us. And today we're talking all about the AI workers in Farm Sim 22. And of course, folks, don't forget that if you want to see the crazier side of Farm Sim, make sure you join us for one of our live streams or maybe one of our Let's Plays or Roleplay series stuff. Come hang out with us. It would be great to have you here. But today we are talking all about the AI workers. Now, you may remember from previous versions of Farm Sim, or maybe not, that the worker menu, well, they were able to do some tasks. For instance, we could get them to do some field work. Now, in order to do that, you would need to figure out what your worker button was. To do that, easily bring up your help menu. On keyboard is F1. From here, you can see, well, we have the hired worker button, which on keyboard is H. On your Xbox, it's the B button, and on PlayStation, it is the circle, I believe. From there, we would just simply hit it. And, well, that still works. Now we've got a worker who is working our fields, and that's great. They're going to go through this back and forth. Now, they weren't the smartest, and to be perfectly honest, they still aren't anything too special. They're still going to do the exact same thing. They're going to turn around and spin around and back up. They can get stuck on things if they're close to the field. Yeah, it's all the same there. But you get a simple worker that will go and take care of your field as long as it's fairly squarish for the most part. It should be able to handle most of the work for you. Now, the difference, guys, is that there is some more options with that hired work button. Now, if you're in a vehicle that potentially can't do anything, so let me jump back into this tractor. So I've gone and detached the cultivator from the tractor now, and instead of getting the regular worker menu that we saw beforehand, if I hit that worker menu, it's going to take us into the mini menu, the map menu screen. Oh, it's going to save first. And from here, you're going to have some other options. Now, the 4755 selected, but of course the cultivator is not connected to it, so it doesn't really know what I want to do. It's just going to say, yep, here's the menu, Klutch. Go in there and do your thing. I don't want to do anything with this yet, so I just brought us here to show you that. We've got two tractors. We got a tractor and a truck here that I want to bring to the farm. And you know what? We can get workers to do that now. So I'm going to select the truck. We got the pinnacle right there. And from there, guys, I'm going to set the destination. Now, this will be highlighted with whatever button it is for whatever console you're on. All these will be. So if you want to select that, you can just say set destination. You're going to get this little menu up here that tells you to pick the location. So I'm going to say at my farm. And then once you pick that, you get the rotation on which way you want it to face when it arrives. So I want it to face this way. Boom. We've got a job set up now, and that pinnacle is going to start driving. There she goes. When she gets the traction, the pinnacle has some traction issues at times, but she's good right now. You know what? We're going to set the same thing up here with the 1050. Set destination. You know, I'll put you back out here. Now, be careful if you happen to put them close to each other. You never know what's going to happen. You just never know. You really don't. Both of them, there we go. They're rocking and rolling. And here they come. Now they're going to pull in, and they will stop at their designated spot and take care of things. Now, like I said, not necessarily the smartest, but they will do what they're told. They have to watch out just the same with any other field work. They do have to watch out for other pieces of equipment. It's not always a guarantee it's going to go well, but you know what? It's not bad. It isn't bad. They still usually get where they're going. I'm going to give it about an 80% chance that things are going to work out for you. There we go. That looks perfect. Helper D, helper C. There you go. Both completed their tasks. Love it. So we're off to a decent start. We now have workers that will kind of drive around the map to wherever we tell them to go to. But I think we can get them to do a little bit more. Let's one up that. Let's see if we can continue cultivating. Let's take this 4755 and stick it back over in this field and see if we can get a worker to just drive there and start working. Once again, we can go back to our main menu screen, our main map. Go down one to our workers menu. You can see nothing's activated right now, and you can see all our equipment back at our farm here. I'm standing right there, and behind that, that's the cultivator tractor. There's a 7810. Where is the 4755? Got it. All right, so we've got that selected. Let's create a job this time instead of setting just a destination. So I'm going to create this job, and now you can see it knows it has the cultivator attached to this tractor, so it's giving me some options here. We can do field work, or we can go to destination. Like I said, I want to do some field work this time. So we know that it's been back and forth. It's done some cultivating. Let's set the target position for where it wanted to start on this end this time. So we'll start it right there in the corner, kind of line it up where I think the field starts. If you don't hit the field, it won't start working right away. So we'll get that rocking and rolling right there. Now the job's been created. All I have to go down to the bottom and hit start job. Tractor should turn around and go do its thing. Now, like I said, if we don't hit the right part of the field, the tractor's just going to go to that location. And for instance, if it's already cultivated or if you missed the field itself, it's going to go there and be like, oh, there's nothing to do. I'm stopping right now. Come tell me what you need me to do. No work needs to be done. It's done. The job's done already, and that's how it ends. So let's see. How close was I? It looks like I managed to hit the field. Enough. That's actually perfect right there. So just be aware, of course, guys, these are workers. So you are paying them the whole time they are out in your field. If you look in the top right-hand corner, you can see that we're getting charged right now. Deducted some cash, like probably about $1 every 3 seconds per worker. So be aware of that. That could get interesting. We're going to talk more about that in a second. So we've got the cultivator working away right now. You can see active workers, field work. Let's get the harvester up here in field 45 while we're at it, right? Once again, create job. We're going to do some field work, set our starting position. I'm going to select it right around there, and we should be good to go. Start job. Cultivator should fire up, and now you can see we've got 2 pieces of equipment running, both doing field work. Currently, the top liner is driving the field. One is working in the field. We got both pieces rocking and rolling right now. That's very cool. Now, you know what? I'm going to set up a bin as well, get that ready. So we're going to park the Massey Ferguson over on this side just so it's ready to unload. We'll set that over there. We got to get 3 of them moving at the same time. Let's see. Put that up there. Oh, it didn't work. So that happens every once in a while. If you have like a problem with it, you can try it again. Sometimes it won't be able to find a path. See if I can get it so it's in the right spot. Yeah, see, stopped unexpectedly. Target as unreachable. You're going to see that every once in a while. It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes. Let's see if we can start on the other side. Can I get it over here? Yeah, so it doesn't want to get out. So there's something going on at the start. We'll take a look at it and see if we can figure it out. Now, guys, it could be a couple of things. Just the fact that tractors are too close to the silo. Really tough to say. Let me just move this out a little bit. We'll fire this on up. And slide this right on out a little bit here. All right, let's see if we can get her to work here now. Once again, we can just hit our hire worker menu button, and that's going to slide us over to this screen. Set our destination. Let's see if we can get her up this way now. There we go. That's all it took. I had to move away from those devices, and now we're good to go. Now with the set to destination point, once she gets here, she's going to stop. Now, what happens here once I take a load off of this combine? So I just had the combine fill us up. We have a full bin, but I don't want it to stay here. I want it to go dump out. Well, that's another task you can now get your workers to go take care of. So I'm going to bounce on out, let this combine go around behind us. We're going to get this 3670 to go jump back to our silo. Let's go back into our workers menu. We can find our tractor with the Massey Ferguson. Like I said, it knows it has that bin in the back, so it knows we don't have too many jobs, but we can go create job, and we can see once again our job menu. We've got a couple things that are different now. We got go to, we've got deliver, and we have load and deliver. Let's go just to deliver. So what's what I want to do? I want this to go and deliver what I have in it. Now what it's going to do is say, we need to figure out where the first station is. To figure this out, there's not a great way in this menu. You can see nothing is getting highlighted really. These are not the right spots, so I don't know exactly why it doesn't. It should be notified, I would say. But anyways, I disregard all that. Just go over to your other menu. You can kind of click on whatever you want it to go into. This is the Pharma 400 plus OBI 1000 bin. Go back to our worker menu. We can go back, figure that out, start create job again, deliver, and then we've got to find that bin in here. That's our unloading station. What we have to do now is select where we're going to pick up things from. And that's right where I'm at right now. I'm going to see if I can put it right close to where I am. The location, I'll have it facing the way we're facing. And we are good to go. Now, the last option here is looping job. And what that's going to do is have the tractor come back to this location. If you just have this on no looping, it's going to go to your silo and stop. If you put it on looping, it's going to go to the silo, dump out, come back to this location, and wait. So that's what we want. Let's hit start job. There we go. I'm not in the tractor. It is taken off. Let's take a look. And there we go. She's going to go loop around now and go dump that bin out. And look at that. Tarp's even on. And now, once again, relatively smart. Has some problems with this particular driveway. But for the most part, comes in straight. As long as you don't have too much equipment parked around here, it's going to loop right down into the silo. And we're going to see the dump out animation once she figures out where exactly she wants to be. It takes a second. Probably quicker if you do it, but you know what? You don't have to do this now. You can sit there and run the combine if you want. All right, pulls on in. And here we go. Should dump out right now. There we go. Dumping animation happens and you're done. Now, once that's done with the animation, everything's unloaded. It's going to lower itself. Tarp is going to go back on the wagon. and it's going to go back out over to the loading location that we designated, which is perfect. So that's a great system to set up, just to have these vehicles so you always have something back in your field. Very easily done, takes no time at all, and you've always got something coming back and forth. And perfect timing now. Look at this, the tractor's pulled back on up. We can go take our top liner here, unload into that again, and once we have that filled up, that driver is automatically going to take off. So dump this in, and now as soon as it's full, it's just going to stop, and that tractor should be good to go. Tarp goes back on, and the worker goes and takes that back to our silo. How sweet is that? Now, of course, the better route for this would be you would drive cart. That would be a semi truck that would be going back to your farm, and you would just be unloading the harvesters. Is the ideal system that would work with this setup. That is the ideal way of doing this for sure, but this still works out. Oh boy, don't hit that car. Oh, that was close. So now, do you remember when I said you have to be careful with the looping and the fact that we're paying our workers? Well, we've finished this field, but this worker is now back here. They've come back after dumping out, and they're back waiting for another load. However, there's nothing coming. I may have forgot about them, and this worker is still making a couple bucks every minute, just sitting here doing nothing. So for our last new party trick, Gertie loves talking about her party tricks. This is the last thing that's kind of a big one as well. Now we're going to jump into the Mac Pinnacle here, and I'll just show you what we can do with this. So if we want to hire a worker for this truck, once again, go back to our worker menu, and we select the truck. As always, create job. And once again, we get these same options we had with the last tractor. Now, let's go talk about load and deliver this time, which is a little bit differently. So this is taking from one silo or place of loading to another place to sell or load or whatever you want to do there. Since there's a lot of factories going on now in Farming Simulator 22, there's a lot of different areas to unload and load at. So we need to figure out, once again, where we are. What is the loading station? I'm going to be taking this from my main silo. So once again, I need that same silo, the Firma 400. And if you get this notification, that just means that, well, there's something wrong. For instance, we don't have any barley in there, so that's the problem with that. Let's go to the wheat. We got a bunch of wheat ready to rock, and now we need to pick an unloading station. Once again, let's go find something. So these means that these plants don't take the wheat that we have in there, so we got to find something that does. Let's go to the East Mill. Where is the East Mill? Right about, that's west. Grain Mill, east. Perfect. Grain Pool, east. Good enough. And then once again, we have looping. So if you leave this looping on, of course, it's going to go to the silo and come back. If you turn this off, it's just going to go there and stop and not bother to come back again. So we have that all set up. Looks great. Let's start our job. Everything's working. Truck's moving. Excellent. Now, interesting thing. We have the Load King trailer. This has 3 compartments inside of it, but there's still another problem. Trucks do have a bit of a traction issue at times. We're going to see how this makes do. We're probably going to get a little bit of spinning going on here, but for the most part, we usually find a way to get through it. But the truck does also know there's 3 bins back here that has to load. You can see we've got the 3 dump out areas. It's going to have to pull forward and load each one of those individually. I've had it miss the middle one a couple of times, but it usually gets at least the 2 ends. The middle one's a bit smaller, of course. So there we go. First one's emptied or loaded. Let's try to pull forward. Of course, it's running into a bit of an issue. Let's let it go for a sec. I'll see if it gets lucky and does something here. Sometimes it just works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Okay, so this looks like one of the times where it didn't manage to get off there. So I'm just going to give this just the slightest of nudges. Just a little tap. Just a little tap. And we should be able to get that to move. Come on. Just a little tap. There we go. And now it's going to load. So I think, once again, it missed the middle one. Yeah, it definitely missed the middle. We'll see what happens. But usually once it gets the first loop done, then it doesn't get stuck for me. At least that's what I found in the past. The first setup where you park the truck matters, it seems to be. Maybe if I would have parked it further back, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. But since we parked it where it was, it went down and it got stuck. I don't know. Anyways, there are some minor issues with that. Not a big deal. If you got a tractor nearby or anything, you can just give it a quick nudge forward like I did. So now this is the real story. How is he going to do on the entry to the bin? Sometimes it works fairly well. Once again, other times not so much. Pulls on in, nice and easy. Let's go around the far side. And she'll dump out. Perfect. So there we go. Looks like we've got first one's being dumped as we speak. Once that's done, the second one will happen, and then she's going to try to pull out of here. Now, this is where we typically see some problems. On this specific load, I wanted to show you this. See if it happens here again. Longer trailers like this tend to run into this issue. Smaller trailers usually manage to get out of most places, but if you have a longer, the Distinction, the Load King, something along those lines, you're going to run into this issue. So, how do you fix it? How do you fix it? Well, you know what? It's not too bad. You can just jump into the truck, warp over the truck. If you get the little AI workers blocked object warning up top there, you can just come over here, jump into it, take control, fix the problem. Now, try not to fix it too much. Just get it so it's not going to happen again, basically. So it's out of that area. Like we are right there. Axles are passed. Go back to our worker menu. Go back to create job. And the same job is still already located there. It's already built in and pretty good to go. Back to start job. And we should be good to go. There we go. All right. Just going to pull a UE there, it looks like, and head back on out. So just be aware of that. It is fairly quick. You just got to make sure you have traction a lot of the well. On the trucks, the traction issue is a bit of a thing. So folks, there you have it. That is the all new AI worker system in Farming Simulator 22. What do you guys think of this? Put a poll down in the description. Make sure you guys go vote on what your thoughts are of this system. Is this groundbreaking? Is this something cool? Is it nothing much? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the description. Click on the link. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video and drop a like on your way out. And like I said, come join us in one of our roleplay or live streams that I'd love to see you guys say hi in. Other than that, have a great day and we'll catch you next time. This is Klutch. Over and out.